What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, today's video is going to be a pretty big update on NIO stock, because not only are we going to go over why a lot of hedge funds are actually dumping their position of NIO, but I'm also going to go over why NIO is actually negative and why they've been trading pretty flat and now down today. And then on the flip side, I'm also going to give you guys some positive news and what analysts actually think of NIO stock right now and whether they think it's a buy or a sell as of right now. So we have a lot to go over, so make sure you guys stick around to the end, because I'm also going to give my prediction on what I think is going to happen with NIO stock over the next couple months and through the end of the year. So make sure you guys stick around to the end for that. But before we actually get into all the information, for those of you who are new here, my name is Evan, and I make videos that show you guys different ways of making money in the stock market. So if that interests you guys, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss when I upload. Also, if you guys wouldn't mind going down and hitting the like button, I would really appreciate it. And it lets me know that you guys enjoy these videos every day. So again, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button, I would really appreciate it. Now, starting off, there's actually quite a few hedge funds that have actually been dumping their position in NIO. The number of bullish hedge fund positions actually retreated by 6 in recent months, and NIO ended up being in 28 hedge fund portfolios at the end of the first quarter of 2021. The all-time high in terms of the number of portfolios that NIO was in was actually at 35. And it's also being estimated that NIO is no longer among the 30 most popular stocks among hedge funds. So heading into the second quarter of 2021, with that total of 28 hedge funds being tracked by Insider Monkey, who were long on NIO stock, that actually represents a change of negative 18% from the previous quarter. And by comparison, 16 hedge funds actually held shares or bullish call options in NIO just 1 year ago. Now I'm going to throw up a chart here which you can see from Insider Monkey the amount of hedge funds that were actually holding a position in NIO. And this spans from the third quarter of 2018 all the way to the first quarter of 2021. And you can see they spiked at 35 right around the third to fourth quarter of 2020. And then from there, a few hedge funds have actually pulled out of their positions and they're no longer holding shares of NIO. And of the funds tracked by Insider Monkey, D.E. Shaw actually held the number one position in NIO, and they had almost $500 million at $443 million in a position in NIO stock. And this ended up making up 0.4% of their 13F portfolio, and sitting at the number 2 spot was Citadel Investment Group, led by Ken Griffin, and they held $265.7 million in call positions. And for them, this made up 0.1% of their 13F portfolio, which was invested in NIO stock. So one of the biggest reasons people are figuring as to why these hedge funds are pulling out of their NIO positions is because people are still thinking that NIO is too expensive. Now, on the other hand, Tesla, which we know NIO follows pretty closely in terms of their chart, both on the daily, weekly, and monthly chart, well, Tesla's been very overvalued based on any traditional metric. And any investor using any sort of normal evaluation rules would agree that Tesla stock has been pretty obscenely expensive since about 2014. And even with this recent pullback that we've seen over the last 6 months or so, Tesla really isn't very far removed from their peak levels, especially when you compare them to NIO, because NIO hit over $60 as their all-time high back in January. And for NIO to be trading in the low $40 range right now, that's a drop of about 50% in their share price. And that's a huge pullback when you compare them to Tesla. But we really never know. NIO may become another exception to the rules because they have done that in the past. And when people figured that they were extremely overvalued, they kept those valuations for an extended period of time. And I think with the mindset that a lot of investors have around NIO, I think they really do have a fighting chance, especially once they get off the ground and start expanding outside of China. That's not to say that there's not a huge market in China, because they haven't even capitalized on nearly the market that they could be, specifically talking about China. But you guys are probably aware that they're not only planning to expand to Norway, but they're also expanding to Germany at some point. And there's a lot of talks about expansion around the world, which will allow them to compete better with Tesla. And I think that's going to put their trend more similar to Tesla, even though they've been pretty similar to Tesla in the past. The only issue is that NIO doesn't have the same degree of first mover advantage in China that Tesla had in the US. And additionally, NIO also had some serious missteps, such as nearly running out of working capital last year. And so these are a couple blunders that make its ability to emulate Tesla kind of questionable. And at their current valuation, NIO should already be strongly profitable and selling hundreds of thousands of cars. Instead, they're unloading a modest number of cars and they continue to lose money. It's been a very long waiting game where people are waiting for NIO to become profitable. And that waiting game is very nerve-wracking because you never know what's going to happen with NIO, because until they become profitable, there's not going to be nearly as many investors as there could be. Now I want to give you guys some good news, and this is regarding NIO's Power Day presentation that they actually hosted in Shanghai, China last week. And the point of this presentation was really to increase investor interest around their charging post, supercharging post, battery swap station, and their mobile charging car, which are all their charging services. And in a report on Power Day, Deutsche Bank analyst Edison Yu mentioned all the highlights. And since beginning to offer the service, NIO has conducted nearly 3 million battery swaps, which replaces discharged batteries in a customer's car and replaces them with freshly charged batteries. And 29% of their customers are located within a 3-kilometer radius of one of their swap stations. And NIO also hopes to grow that number to 90% by 2025. NIO also advised that they're accelerating the rollout of new battery swap stations so as to make the 90% number more attainable. And from 308 stations that are currently in operation, NIO initially planned to grow to 500 stations this year, but now they're saying that they're going to increase this target to 700 stations by the end of the year. Furthermore, they also intend to build 600 new swap stations each year for the next several years, reaching 4,000 stations by 2025. And 1,000 of these 4,000 stations are going to be located in foreign countries. Some people are questioning why NIO is planning to build 1,000 battery swap stations outside of China, seeing as though they currently aren't even selling any electric vehicles outside of the country. And while NIO didn't directly address this question at the Power Day presentation, it's been known that they've been planning international expansion in the future, and Norway is going to be coming at some point in September, and there's also expansion into Germany. And in his note, Edison Yu actually highlighted a recent LinkedIn job, and this was an ad posted by NIO seeking to hire a general manager of NIO Germany. So presumably, NIO is planning to begin selling EVs pretty aggressively over in Europe, and probably some other continents and countries as well. And they hope to sell so many EVs internationally that by 2025 or about mid-2026, that they will need to site 1 in 4 of its power stations internationally just to keep up with the demand. So I think right now, with NIO having a pretty rare bullish outlook according to the street, over the last 3 months, they've actually received 9 buy ratings with no holds or sells. So this gives them a pretty strong buy analyst consensus. And I think it should go without saying that with an average analyst rating at $64.22, and this translating into about a 40% upside, it would almost seem crazy to not be adding shares of NIO right now to your portfolio, especially considering they're on about a 40% discount from the average analyst rating. So personally, I think that NIO could hit anywhere upwards of $80 to $85 in the next 12 months. Now I know when we were estimating prices about 6 months ago, people were figuring that NIO was going to be well beyond $100 by the end of 2021. But that was also when they were trading between $60 and $65. And I think a lot of people would have agreed that NIO was pretty overvalued at those prices, because they shot up very quickly without a lot of stuff to back up that price and to justify that big of a price increase in such a short amount of time. But with NIO currently trading around $40 to $45, I think in the next 12 months for them to hit $80 to $85, I think that could be a realistic expectation, especially considering their expansion into Europe. And if that goes as planned and they exceed expectations over in Europe, I think we're going to see that reflected in their share price. But on the other hand, if NIO doesn't quite do as well as they expected, I think NIO is going to be trading around $60 to $65 in the next 12 months. And I know that is about the average analyst rating, but that's still about a 40% increase in their current share price. 40% for any other stock is a pretty huge increase in a single year. So take that into consideration when you guys are investing in NIO. Even if they only go from 43 up to 64.22, which is the average rating, that is still a huge increase. And I don't think anybody should be complaining about that kind of increase in their portfolio. Because as I've mentioned before, I think NIO is a long-term play. I don't think people should be buying into NIO just to sell out in a few weeks or a few months. This is a stock that has a lot of upside potential, but it's more down the road. It's not short-term like a lot of penny stocks that spike up 200-300% in a week. This is a stock that I think a lot of people can rely on long-term if they can keep up with people's expectations and hopefully become profitable pretty soon. Once that happens, we're going to have a lot more investors interested in NIO, and there's going to be so many more people backing NIO and investing in them that it's going to become a lot more of a stable stock, and it's not going to see these big fluctuations of 5 to 10% in a single trading day. Now, for those of you who made it this far into the video, I want you guys to leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know if you're still holding your entire position of NIO, or if you've sold off some shares to secure a profit. So let me know down in the comments if you're still holding or if you've sold any of your shares. Also, let me know if you guys are planning on buying more shares, seeing as though NIO's dropped quite a substantial amount in the last week or so, especially today. So again, let me know down in the comments. Also, if you guys haven't signed up for Webull, make sure you guys sign up using the link in the description. And when you sign up and deposit $100, you'll actually get 2 free stocks. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like because it really does help out the channel. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you back here in the next one. Bye.